Hey, thanks for joining me on my Chivalry 2 gameplay review. I'm just gonna jump in with the synopsis of the actual game itself. So this would be from the developers. So Chivalry 2 is a multiplayer first-person slasher inspired by epic medieval movie battles. Players are thrust into the action of every iconic moment of the era, from clashing swords to storms of flaming arrows, sprawling castles, sieges, and more. Is that what the game is? I would say yes, it is. I've been playing this for quite a while now. Level 170 at the moment, which sounds like a lot, but it didn't really take that long to get there. The XP is fairly generous, one allow you to earn, so it's not a massive grind, and especially to unlock weapons isn't necessarily a big grind either. I'll actually go in and have a look there in a second. I suppose I did play the original Chivalry. I played that on and off. I think that was released in 2014, maybe 2015. I'm pretty sure it was 2014, and I played that for quite a while. I was at some point where that game sort of just died off. I don't know why that happened. And then
the leader requires only 20 more victories.
And a lot of people quite clearly, moved over from Chivalry, to Mordhau. It was a similar game. Varied playstyle. And I played that for quite a while. I didn't like the direction that the actual fight mechanics went in, which was focused mainly on your ability to feign. But there is the feign option within this game. It's V, so it is there, but I don't see a lot of people necessarily utilizing that. They're more than likely trying to change their swing direction. I find that kind of works a lot better. You get punished a lot quicker in this game for feigning. There's not a lot of leeway, given, which I think is a good thing. I main on the Executioner's Axe, which is a Vanguard Devastator I'm actually playing at the moment, but I would normally play with the Executioner's Axe, and then depending on the situation I maybe would switch to the War Club, simply because it's a faster swing speed, or possibly the Maul. If I'm running into groups of 4, maybe 5 players at a time, I kind of want to have that big massive damage. It just doesn't have as big of a reach, and to be honest, looking at the reach, I think they've actually nerfed the reach slightly on the Executioner's Axe, but they've also done that on the Maul. I'm fairly certain that the Maul had a slightly longer reach than what it currently does at the moment, but it's still a good weapon. And again, depending on the situation, I may actually switch over to a footman, or possibly a knight. So each class, this is your class. You have your archer, vanguard, footman, knight, and then the subclass within that. So for the archer, there's your longbowman, crossbowman, and then you have your skirmisher. He mains javelins.
The leader needs only 10 more.
I don't necessarily play this class an awful lot. I like, kind of depending on how the game is going and kind of what I want to do, I might play as an archer. I'll honestly clearly play as Vanguard Devastator the whole time. Duels I'd play a bit of. Also on top of that as well, then what you have is the 3v3 duels as well, which is actually, that's a pretty good game mode as well. I'm playing free for all at the moment, just simply because you could be queuing maybe a little bit longer for duels, and it's skill based. It sort of depends on who you're going against. It's not really kind of fair if I'm kind of trying to give a review of the game and going in against maybe a level 10 or something like that in a duel. So at least I get a variety of skill levels here. this player here is using the Messer, which is a good sword. And it's a fast sword, and it's usually, you know, maybe the third sword that you would unlock, you know, over time. You start with the long sword, as far as I can remember, which is actually a really good sword, to be fair. It's fast. The damage isn't fantastic, but you have players now that would throw barrels and stuff like that at you. They're generally very, very good. They're hard to kill. So I'm ignoring them.
3 more kills, and the leader is victorious!
But the community is really good. We did have
The
a kind of a certain point in
victory!
time there where we had people coming into servers and just like randomly vote kicking people, or vote kicking the people who were winning, or maybe perhaps, you know, got the best of a fight and they weren't too happy, so they decided the best thing to do was try and kick them from the server. But it's sort of something that's addressing itself. You know, what's happening now is players are generally just voting no, rather than just these players getting kicked out for no reason, which is good. It's happened to me. I've been kicked out of a game maybe 4 or 5 times, you know, from the top spot. You know, and it's just it really does just put you off, and it actually cuts off your concentration as well, because you're kind of looking at the vote kick and you're thinking, am I going to get kicked out here now? You know, all I need is a 2 or 3 yeses now and I'm gone. So, well, gladly that's coming to an end. Another thing I'd like to see perhaps being implemented soon would be community servers.
Defeat!
So the ability to host your own server. Mods as well, you know, that would be a really good thing. Custom levels too. It doesn't seem to be something that's happening at the moment, and I think, you know, there's a possibility there that they could potentially lose a lot of the player base, especially when you have new games coming out. I mean, you have the new Call of Duty there that's just dropped, and you have Battlefield coming out as well. There's a couple other games as well, I can't think of the names are now, that are going to be dropping soon. So, you know, it's sort of something that's been spoken about, and I think that they said that they were going to be implementing those features, but from past experience and seeing things like this, there seems to be sort of an unspoken length of time that the community's just kind of going to go, look, you know, just far too much time has passed now, and I've lost interest. I mean, I think the main, I suppose, example would be, a recent example would be PUBG. I mean, they took so long to properly implement some kind of an anti-cheat measure into that game that they went from, you know, usual peak players of 1 million plus all the way down. I think at one stage I only seen 70,000 players. Now, obviously 70,000 players is still a lot of players because it's 100 player servers, but it's still not, like, it's not a lot. I mean, that's a massive dip when you compare it to the likes of League of Legends, that player base, or Dota. And what I find, you know, kind of hard to understand is the fact that they've managed to stave off cheats and hacks for the likes of Dota and League of Legends and things like that, but they struggle with games like PUBG and you know, Call of Duty and stuff like that as well. It's sad to see. I haven't come across many cheats in this game, I'll be perfectly honest. I did see one sort of reference to some kind of a speed cheat, but that was like a very, very short-lived issue. I haven't seen anything suspicious at all whatsoever. You know, not once. Anything sort of unusual would have been more kind of, I would say, lag related than, you know, than anything else. Other than that, I mean, it's basically what it is. It's just a fighting battlefield, medieval battlefield fighting game. Swords and axes and spears and bow and arrows, you know. nothing else crazy. You know, it's a fun game, and it's definitely a great way of just jumping in and blowing off some steam. Um, you know, it's sort of like Grand Theft Auto in that regard. So yeah, look, I hope you liked the review. I'm going to be doing a couple more reviews of other games. This is my first review. It's my first kind of dive into, um, you know, basically creating a video and putting it on YouTube. I'll be streaming as well on Twitch. I have that sort of stuff set up. I just need to figure out what I'm going to stream and when I'm going to stream. I'm going to be doing a couple of more reviews as well on different games. I think I'll be throwing out a review on Squad, Battlefield when that drops, because I'll have early access to that. I'm not too sure about the Call of Duty game. I kind of see how that pans out with the new anti-cheat first before I decide to dedicate 500 gigs of my hard drive to one game. I might do a couple of streams of PUBG as well. I'm not necessarily going to do a review of PUBG because it's just out for so long now. I might do some streams as well of Counter-Strike and different games. But if you have any suggestions, any tips, anything at all, just leave a comment. Obviously, like and subscribe. Thank you.